The Late Night Legends podcast is meant for a mature audience. Topics covered may be violent or sexual in nature and are not suitable for sensitive listeners. Please be aware of your surroundings. For specific trigger warnings, please see the episode's show notes. Testimony shared by guests of this show are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Late Night Legends hosts or staff. This podcast and any linked materials should not be considered medical or professional advice, nor is the information a substitute for the expertise or treatment from a professional. Listener discretion is advised. Watch out.
All right, welcome back to Late Night Legends. Tonight's the episode you've all been waiting for, Murder Mystery 3. We got the whole crew with us tonight. We got Maria, we got Joan, Colin, Kay, Charlie, Frank, and myself. So sit back and get ready to enjoy another murder mystery. With that, I'll pass it over to Kay.
So for today's murder mystery, we are traveling to Tombstone, Arizona. Pretty famous place. So we will get into it. There's been a murder in Tombstone, Arizona. Not one told in history books from many years ago, one recently. The Late Night Legends team, faced with a good ghost story and the opportunity to solve a crime, packs their bags and heads to Arizona.
Oh, that's me. I'm so sorry. I got that. I was so involved.
You're good.
Reward still offered for information on murder, reads the local headline. It's halfway accurate thing to write. The only way to make it more accurate would be to make murder plural. There's been 2 recently. At least that's what the team thinks. One death was chalked up to be an accident. A ghost hunter had gained access to some of the underground areas to gather evidence. Not criminal. Nothing like that had happened yet. They were one of many ghost hunters seeking new footage to be the next viral video. Tombstone is full of ghost stories. This poor ghost hunter just didn't expect to become one of them. There's a lot of uneven ground down in those tunnels, drop-offs. A lot can happen down there. They say that he slipped and fell, but the circumstances just didn't quite add up.
The second fellow, however, that was no accident. He was a tour guide. He knew those tunnels inside and out. Could have found his way around in the dark if he needed to, but anything can happen, right? Even the most experienced of guides can get distracted, slip, any number of things. But when you find drag marks in an unfinished "I didn't fall" written in the dirt with a finger, it leads one to believe that just maybe he didn't fall.
So that's the question our team has. Was it just an unfortunate accident for both of them? Is there a paranormal factor? Did their presence anger something much older than any of us? Or was it an old-fashioned murder, just like in Tombstone's history?
The group lands, meets up, and heads to Tombstone. The team is hungry, so they head to Big Nose Kate's saloon to get some food and see if they can get some information from locals.
Hey guys, welcome to the Big Nose Kate Saloon. My name is William H. Smith, but you can call me Willie. I'll be taking care of you guys tonight. That's quite a name, Frank says. Yeah, it's a family name. What brings you guys into town? We're a paranormal podcast group here to check out the area. We want to hear more about the stories that you guys have to tell, both historical and recent. Well, there's a lot to tell about one and not a lot to tell about the other. You guys are not the first that have come looking for a good story. My advice, stick with the former. There are certain people around here that really don't take kindly to strangers poking their noses around in areas where they don't belong. My boss Sharon, for example, she enjoys tourists come to enjoy the history of Tombstone, but says they often forget why exactly they're here, tourists. People want to find the next big story, the next big reason to go viral and start going into areas they don't belong. There's old mines and caverns, people's homes and businesses. Just make sure you guys stick to the areas that you're meant to be in and you'll be just fine. I'll give you guys a couple minutes with the menu.
Okay, it's time to order some dinner. Everybody's favorite part of these shows.
This is fine.
We should just make a show out of this.
We should.
Do you know on like all the housewives, they purposely show what they're ordering because like people are like, I want to know what they're going to these restaurants and eating. So, like
Actually,
a housewife.
I've never cared that much.
all right, who's gonna go? Who's gonna go first?
Are we doing drinks first or appies?
Got to do drinks first.
Yeah.
Teasers.
I want to do the dessert lizard margarita. It's like a melon liqueur, Swaza gold tequila, and sweet and sour mix. That sounds great. And a water, of course. Water for the table? For the table, everybody?
Think so?
Yep.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
the
okay,
water.
okay. Water for the
I want
table.
lemon with it, please.
Is that not common in Arizona?
I gotta ask for it every single time.
Do you really?
Really?
Okay. Wow. Culture
I don't think
shock.
they do lemon by default here.
Yeah, they don't. I don't.
It's just tap
Not at
water.
most restaurants.
Half the restaurants do, half the restaurants don't here. Depends on where you're going.
Okay, what
I've
about
never had a default lemon ever.
default lemon? Not a thing.
No.
Maria, how about you over in Montana? Default lemon for you guys there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do they even have lemons in Montana?
I don't know about Montana.
I think a macho nacho for the table might be good.
Yeah.
Well,
It
I was going
sounds
to get
like
some
it'd be
elotes too, but
Ooh.
Oh, elotes sound good.
That sounds good.
I do think it's kind of interesting how you can ask for jalapenos on request, and those are free. But if you want sour cream, it's 99 cents. And if you want guacamole, it's $3.99.
Oh my god.
Guacamole is a premium.
A lot easier to get jalapenos than avocados, apparently.
Yeah.
yeah, you can grow jalapenos there.
I believe I'll drink a sarsaparilla. Because we're in the Southwest.
Well, I have to try this Kate Special Private Reserve Pilsner, so I'm going to do that.
Mm.
Frank,
Go Roy
anything
Rogers.
anything with a sheriff's badge is kid-friendly items.
Oh,
Just so
hell
you know.
Thankfully. What is that? Okay.
I think I'll go with the raspberry iced tea for my drink.
raspberry iced tea.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
I
get
already-
a bubbly sparkling water.
That sounds so good.
Everybody got their drinks? Did we miss anybody?
I think so. We put our appies in.
Did
Already.
put our appies in.
Okay, so are we doing entrees too? Or do we
going
want to wait
entrees,
for
yeah.
like
We
5
got-
minutes and pretend they came back?
Wait for the,
Let me get
wait for
those,
the appies to
let me
get
put
here.
those drinks orders in. I'll be right back.
All right, I'll go first for entree since I know what I'm getting. I'm
Okay.
definitely going to be getting these trigger finger baskets, which is chicken fingers.
I don't like that it's called that.
I don't know who came up with these names, but give me that chicken. I'm all about the
Yeah,
nuggets.
did you see Kate's breast?
We talked about Kate's breast before you came on, I
They
think.
also have Kate's breast gone west.
Yeah, I think that's what I gotta go with. It's either that or the topless burger. I mean,
I was looking at Kate's breast, but I think I'm going to go with the Boot Hill.
that was my second choice.
So
Might
how
have
come
to-
it's Kate's breast and Kate's breast gone west, but it's just chicken breast salad? Why'd they stop there? Why didn't they keep going? I love a theme. Oh.
If we see Kate around, we'll have to ask her.
If your name is Kate, go ahead and comment down below. Where did you go?
I don't understand why that's called that. Okay. Oh gosh.
Kate also made some chili, apparently.
I feel like hot chili in a hot desert does not sound super great.
Well, I can tell you where my dad is from in Mexico, they believe if you eat hot food on a hot day, it cools you down, where it's like the total opposite here. Like, I want something cool to drink on a hot day. My dad is all about eating like chili, for example. And he really does believe, I don't know if there's any scientific truth to this, but he believes if you're eating like jalapenos and hot peppers, it cools you down somehow too, which I also don't believe.
Maybe because it makes you sweat?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense.
Mm.
I I think I might have to go with Big Minnie's pepperoni calzone. Because it is stuffed with a big, all caps, order of pepperoni.
Do you think they just put like a handful in there?
Just,
Just wad it up.
yeah.
Doesn't even cook all the way through.
No.
Some of those pepperonis are raw.
You cut into it and it's just a grease pool.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh. I'll go with the Stampede.
oh, what's that?
Stampede.
Stampede.
This burger lassos your taste.
Oh,
That's it. That's all it does. I think I'm gonna go with the Curly Bill's brisket sandwich.
Ooh.
that sounds good too.
That does sound good.
That does
Not
good.
his brisket dinner for $3 more.
No. I want it. I just want to hold it, cradle it.
I'm gonna go with the San Pedro's queso tacos
Ooh, I
Ooh.
didn't see those.
with Beyond Meat.
Oh.
Do you like
There we
Beyond
go.
Meat?
Oh, I love it. Well, I'm vegetarian, so
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, most of the time.
Fun fact.
Wait,
I didn't know.
hold
Most of the
on.
time?
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
I feel like they're trying to work Beyond Meat into every menu everywhere. Like there's a menu option that's Beyond Meat almost every place I go, but I've never seen anybody order it. So you're the first, Colin.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. It's really
Yeah,
good.
I've
good.
made it before. Costco sells it, and you put like a piece of cheese on that, and it's pretty good for a burger.
Does it
Yeah.
taste like does it taste like meat?
Yeah,
You need like the cheese to give it like that fatty flavor, but yeah.
yeah, you do.
I
And
will
then
say they
some
put beet in
condiments,
it,
but-
so it does look like it's bleeding a little bit. So it's a little
Yeah.
concerning when you first put it on.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And if you overcook it, it gets weirdly crispy.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're not the salesman for Beyond Meat there, Colin.
I don't have to be. They're already selling it everywhere. You said so yourself.
That's true. That's true.
That's a good point.
All right. Everybody get their entree in. I think that's everybody, yes?
Yep.
Everybody good?
Oh, can I get
Yeah.
a side of Kraft hash queso, please?
You can have anything you want, Charlie.
Thanks.
Frank is footing the bill.
He's
What?
asking Willie.
I have no money, I'll have you know. My wallet is right here.
It's empty.
It is actually, I can show you, it's actually empty. I'm not going to do that on camera.
Don't
It's
do
okay.
that.
I'll get it.
Oh, Charlie! Oh, shit.
Charlie.
There's a whole lot of dollar bills. Where were you? Where were you going?
This
You
is
gonna
from
go do
tips.
some laundry or something?
Maybe it's not where he's going or where he's,
Charlie,
Gonna
are you a
go
stripper
where
on the
he's been.
side?
All
That's
right.
where he's been.
yeah. Work is work, Charlie. I'm not judging.
Thank you.
Get that bag, girly. The group eats and heads to the hotel for the night, planning to meet for breakfast the next morning before they begin their hunt.
Wait, I've been here before. This is when Kay died last time. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our morning announcement, and the morning announcement is that everyone is perfectly fine. Nobody
Ray.
is dead.
Why would we think that they wouldn't be? We're just
What
on a
an odd
nice
thing to say.
vacation. Yeah.
You know, it really just depends. Some choices are safer than other choices.
She's rolling a D20 over there. I'm just saying.
Okay, so we have a bunch of different places around town that we're going to go visit. So, where do you guys want to visit first?
I think Birdcage Theater is always a good place to start.
Okay.
I would start with the graveyard personally.
Why? No one's dead. What are we doing?
Oh, I would assume that there's people that are dead there already.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where the ghost hunters went.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Huh.
We're visiting everywhere.
Catacombs, maybe too.
Okay, let's go. I would say then I'll change my vote to Birdcage Theater.
Okay.
La Caja. I can't say that.
Birdcage sounds good. Catch a matinee. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do we all have a birdcage, or is that just the people that?
Everybody has birdcage.
Okay, everybody has got Birdcage.
Yeah.
Remember that movie, The Birdcage, with Robin Williams?
That was a
Yeah,
good
it's
movie.
It's an old movie. Ooh. There's some redacted text on my clue, guys. I'm gonna try to decipher what this
Don't do that.
says.
Don't.
I printed it out and I realized I was like, oh no, you're not supposed to read that. So
Oh,
I was
no.
taking markers and
Now I want to know
blacking
what
it
it
out.
means even, or what it says even more. No, I can't.
Just a hint for if this ever happens again. Also black out the back of the page.
I checked the back and I was like, I don't know if you can read it, but
I've had people where I've made an accident, like when I was like teaching grading and I marked it out, and a parent went and like put it up to the light and read the back of the page. And I was like, I marked it out for a reason.
I was hoping you guys would be good sports.
I'm being a great sport.
Thank you.
Not me. I'm being the worst.
Frank's got a tea kettle going. He's going to steam it up.
The tea kettle.
What's it say?
See if there's some lemon juice on it with a black light.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off, Colin?
Yes, ma'am. Entering into the Birdcage Theater, the group is greeted by a worker. Hey guys, my name is Henry. Can I show you around? This is the famous theater operated in Tombstone from 1881 to 1894. It hosted a variety of shows, depending on what the miners in Tombstone wanted at the time. One of the most famous performers was Mademoiselle de Granville. Here's a photo of her.
Ooh, describe her.
She is an 1890s looking woman with a very haunted child. I mean, that child is the killer. I'm pretty certain.
I will also put my money on this child.
Tim, do you want to read the description?
And the description of the photo is Mademoiselle de Granville, Alma Hayes with son Thomas.
The theater is known to be very haunted. Henry continues as the group moves on. Many people have come to visit trying to catch a ghost, including some famous TV shows. The activity recently has piked up quite a bit, and we don't know why. Just footsteps, though. No sightings. We hear footsteps all the time. Well, anyways, feel free to look around. I'm going to head back to my desk. You guys have a fun time, and just be careful. Lots of weird stuff has been happening around tourists recently.
For our viewers.
Thank you for showing that, Tim. Okay, where do you guys want to go next?
Sorry, I was reading. I was writing, not reading.
And while we're in town, let's go to the Epitaph newspaper.
Ooh.
The newspaper.
The
Who names that?
newspaper.
Who's like, let's choose that for a name. Oh, this is me. Let me know when y'all are ready.
Good to go.
Okay.
Mhm.
The group stops in a small old building. Welcome to town. I'm Winston. An older man shakes each hand. Let me tell you a little bit about the newspaper's history. The Epitaph was founded in the 1880s, the oldest newspaper in Tombstone, and it still operates and publishes today. Let me show you some of our stories that were published.
This is the most famous article we ever wrote, Winston says, stopping to point at a framed news story on the wall. Originally, the reports on the gunfight was at the OK Corral, the one that we still reenact here. Over 30 shots were fired in 30 seconds, and at the end of it, 3 men were dead. The marshal decided to enforce a law that said no weapons were to be brought into the town. The cowboys didn't like that. It finally came to a head one day. The 3 Earp brothers and Doc Holliday stood up to a group that called themselves the quote-unquote cowboys. We still give prints of this one away. You are all welcome to have a copy of it if you'd like.
Here's another one. Winston points to the next frame. This one tells you about how our editor caught the famous Apache warrior Geronimo. And this one talks about something suspicious happening in the town. People kept disappearing. I mean, murder was common for sure, but people just vanished. Never did find out what was happening. I'll let you guys look over these old stories, and when you're done, I'll show you a demonstration of how we used to print papers by hand back in the 1800s.
There's some really cool conspiracies surrounding Geronimo. Skull and Bone Society stole his skull. It's still supposed to be in their clubhouse. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
His family's like demanded it back several times. For more information on that, though, check out your local library.
Should I describe the newspaper?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a paper dated 1950. It says multiple unexplained disappearances. Multiple town visitors have never been seen again. Tombstone hosts many visitors each year. All come to see the historical gunfights and hear about the history of the silver mines. What they don't expect to become part of is Tombstone's history, however, forever. Multiple tourists have gone missing in recent months. Entire parties check into the hotel, go out for the day to roam about the historical places, and then never return in the evening. Some say that they've decided to leave suddenly, but a sudden departure typically warrants at least a stop for one's luggage. What had these groups leaving town so quickly and even their belongings were left behind? Some have suggested foul play, but absolutely no trace has ever been found. Nothing points to murder, kidnapping, or anything of the sort. Maybe the swamper has something to do with it. People say his spirit lives on and he too disappeared suddenly without a trace, leaving all belongings behind. Maybe these families struck silver, enough to make them leave in the middle of the day. James Hayes, grandson of Thomas Hayes and owner of the Hayes Freight Company, was available for comment. This is very upsetting time for our community, to be certain. There are still multiple thriving businesses in town, and to hear about news that could keep other tourists away is not good. It's also concerning as someone who lives in the town as well. So far, this seems to be limited to tourists, but at some point, it's liable to spread to others. Tourists can stay away, but we live here, we work here. My family has been here for generations. I'm not leaving. I hope the mystery comes to a swift end.
More haze. Interesting.
I think since I
Write
mentioned
that
Swamper,
down.
we go to Swamper's Chamber next.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds about right to me.
Swamp's Chamber, I think. Yeah.
Alrighty. Swamper's Chambers.
That's what they called my dorm in college.
This one was me.
Nice.
All right, are you ready?
Ready?
The group returns to Big Nose Kate's and heads to the ladder in the basement to enter Swamper's chambers. Willie, their server from earlier, catches up to them. Please be careful going down that ladder, he warns. Swamper's body was never found, but his spirit is still here. Stuff happens all the time. T-shirts are thrown off the shelves, stuff is moved, doors open and close on their own. But the most concerning thing happens around the ladder. People claim to be pushed, have their feet pulled off the rungs, tripped. Please be careful and keep a firm grasp at all times. And watch your footing down there. He likes to make sure people know they aren't welcome.
The group carefully climbs down the ladder and enters Swamper's room. It's a small, just enough space for a bed, a stool, and a few personal belongings. Swamper was known to keep himself. He helped keep the hotel running. Big Nose Kate was the grand hotel in Swamper's time, and in return he was able to stay in the small room. He was obsessed with finding silver, convinced that he was going to find some. He spent a lot of time down here digging his own mining passages, hoping to strike secretly. A lot of people were convinced he did strike silver, just not the kind that he mined himself. People accused him of stealing from what others had found. He was alone most of the time and he kept to himself. We really don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. No one knows where he came from. No one knows where he went. No family, didn't take anything when he left. He just vanished into thin air.
The group looks around Swamper's chambers. Maria finds a small hole with a book barely peeking out of it. Hey guys, check this out.
Swamper's Diary, Entry 1. I saw the most amazing woman today. I like to keep myself, as you very well know, but there is something about her that just draws me to her. I find myself spending less time digging and more time taking breaks to stroll past where I know she is, hoping to catch a glimpse of her. She's distracting me from my work, but maybe I can convince her to work with me. 4 hands would dig faster than 2. I can't imagine getting those pretty hands dirty, though. She could keep me company while I worked. Better company than this old journal.
Entry 2. We spoke today, just a little bit. She is so kind. She is light, and I am dark. I do not know how I could ever convince her to come down here with me, but maybe I can. I must keep focused on my work. Maybe if I work hard enough, I can come into the light with her. Never spend another day in these tunnels. And I could buy her anything she wanted. Anything to see that pretty smile again.
Entry 3. I convinced her to come to my room tonight. We've been talking for a while, and I wanted to show her where I dig. I'm so close. I could tell she didn't like the dark, but I won't be in the dark much longer. I will come to the light with her. I just need more time so I can stay in the light. I don't want to have to come back to the dark once I leave it.
Entry 4. I was giving the most wonderful news today. I must work even harder now. I must make it into the light. My sweet Alma, I will make it into the light for you.
Entry 5. I've done it. It took me years, but I've done it, and I'm so proud of him, he who helped me. He who gave me the strength to work even faster. He who gave me the reason to make this fall into place. I have taught him, and he has learned quickly. She is light, but he is dark like me. He is so good in the dark. I will leave for the light with my Alma, but I do not think he will come with us. He will do well in the dark. He will use the dark to grow beyond what I ever could have been. He will be great. Light and dark came together to make greatness.
Entry 6. I'm leaving for the light today. He will stay behind in the dark, but he wants to be in the dark. I do fear for him a little. He is so much darker than I. It will serve him well. He will be great. He will be successful. But I pray someday he will find his light like I found mine. And then, Maria, if you want to read this little clue we have at the bottom.
Yes. Bill of sale, Vermilion Enterprises, 7 times bar at 35990. And the next numbers are 251930. Electronic wire transfer to CSB.
That's really blurry, Tim.
I know. I'm trying.
I'll put it up on the screen and post. No worries.
Yeah, cool.
So are those bars of gold or silver? Probably silver, right? Okay, you definitely know. She's got a poker face right now.
What do you want me to say?
You definitely know. All right.
I wrote it.
Oh, okay. Tim, you're our guide. Where should we go next?
Well, we're still in town. Let's go to the courthouse.
Courthouse. All right.
Uh-oh.
Tombstone Courthouse. Hey everyone, I'm Virgil. Welcome to the courthouse. Anything you guys are interested in looking at? I can tell you a little bit about the building, and then you can decide. It was built in 1882 and originally housed the sheriff's office, jail, and courtrooms. We've got some great historical artifacts, including a tax document for operating a brothel and an invitation to a hanging. There's exhibits that show what the daily life was like for the miners and the people that lived here in town. My favorite is this one right here, the sheriff's log, and has a list of all the arrests, which is why it's so big. Murders, thefts, it's all in there. At least whatever the sheriff at the time wasn't bribed to keep out of the book.
You want me to read this?
Yep.
All right. Charles Hayes, April 8th, 1924. Crime, murder, plea not guilty. C. Hayes arrested on April 6, 1924 on suspicion of murder. H. M. Wallace died of trauma to head inflicted by crowbar by C. Hayes. C. Hayes cooperated with law enforcement. Statement. C. Hayes, son of T. Hayes and owner of Hayes Freight Company, was checking out a train car scheduled to leave later that day when he observed Wallace attempting to break the car's lock with a crowbar. Hayes approached Wallace and attempted to scare him off. When confronted, Wallace attacked Hayes, who wrestled the crowbar from Wallace. Wallace continued to advance on Hayes. Hayes defended with a fatal blow of the crowbar. Judge Wilkins has ruled not guilty in favor of Hayes. Hayes was protecting his personal property, then his life.
All
More
right.
Hayes.
I didn't know your last name was Hayes, Charlie. That's awesome.
We've got the graveyard or the catacombs.
I would say let's go to the graveyard because the catacombs are probably where we're going to die.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. Good plan. I like it.
Okay. Game and
All right. The group wanders to the graveyard. A few tombstones stand out among the old weathered ones. New ones have recently been placed. Here lies Tim. His outlook was grim. Should have turned back around. Now he lays in the ground.
Here lies Franklin. What could have been lying on the cold floor. He begged for no more.
Here lies Joan. Answered a phone. Didn't heed the warning. Now her family is in mourning.
Here lies Kay, lies in this grave, loved to go digging, now her body is missing.
Here lies Maria, had an idea, went down below Tombstone, found bloody and alone.
Here lies Colin, came a-crawling, begged for life, laid to death by knife.
Here lies Charlie, buried beneath thee, a slug from a 44, no Charlie no more.
Just past the new graves are two old ones, rather near each other.
And the photo is a picture of two graves, one with Alma Hayes and one with Swamper's name. Alma Hayes has flowers on her grave, and Swamper's looks like it has a black blur in front of it.
Oh, it has.
I think it's scrub brush or something.
Yeah.
A
Or is
bush?
it like some sagebrush or something?
It's a
Yeah.
tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Well, tumbleweeds tumble.
They do be
Tumbleweed.
out there in the desert, though.
It's a growing weed.
They do be a tumbling.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're going to the catacombs, yeah, Tim?
Yeah, by default.
All right. This is me. The group heads down to the catacombs. It looks like they aren't the first people to be poking around down there. There's lots of debris and discarded items. People have left the most random stuff down there, Frank says. Yeah, check this out. An old phone. Joan wipes some dust off this old thing. The group jumps as it rings, as a piercing sound in the near silence of the caves. The group looks around each other and it continues to ring. Pick it up, Colin insists. Joan reaches for the phone and cautiously lifts it to her ear.
Joan listens, and her face draws into one of concern. I don't know why I did that. I just read something, but anyway. A short moment later, she looks up at the group and places the phone back down. Did it say anything? Maria asks.
Just that we shouldn't be down here.
The group looks around wide-eyed at each other. Let's look around and get out of here quick, Tim urges.
So I'll describe the clue. It's a map, and it looks like it was drawn on in crayon at the restaurant by a child. But he's got really nice handwriting. On the top of the map, there's a line that's traveling what looks to be northwest by southeast that is a dotted line that says Hayes Freight Co. South of that line, there's three, what I can only imagine could be tunnel openings with some arrows around it and some weird lines that look like they might connect. And then north of that dotted line, it looks like it is maybe the town and all the streets, and then it has a little arrow that says where the main entrance is. Now, I'll put that in post because it's quite a lot.
It does say Hayes Freight Company on that line. Did you
Yeah.
say that? Okay,
Did I miss that part?
I don't.
No, you got it.
Okay, sorry.
cool.
I must have missed it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
And
all
then
good.
Did you see the red X on the line as well?
Yeah, there's a red. Well, I don't know that it's red. My copy's in black and white, but I would imagine it's bright red. I think that's good. I think that's as much as I could describe out of this picture. Unless you guys want to help me and I'm missing something. But then we've got another clue. It says Capital Security Bank of the Cook Islands, 11/24/24, 1:01 p.m. Account number, and then there's an account number, and then balance. $24,566,970.03. Someone's rich. Definitely not.
If they're
me.
alive.
Yeah.
So we have gone through all the clues. So what's the story? And who is committing the crimes recently?
Mm,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's Thomas because Colin and I think we called it early on. And that's who I'm going to put my money on. That child.
Okay.
The child from the 1880s is committing the crimes
his
recently.
ghost is currently doing stuff.
So
He's murdering.
just to go over what we do know, I would assume Swamper is the husband of Alma, which means he would be the father of Thomas, and Thomas is the father of Charles, who is said that he probably attempted murder in 1924, is what the
he did the
record said?
murder. He attempted and was successful.
He was successful. Sorry, I was trying to write things down while I'm doing this. I'm not
I mean,
so
it
good.
was self-defense, he said.
Yeah. And then we also know that there have been a string of missing tourists in the 1950s. So
1970.
Somebody also walked away with a bunch of money, so we know that. And we also know there's these tunnels and stuff under the town.
Yeah. So are we assuming that these circles are entrances to the tunnels of Swamper? Like Swamper's tunnels that he had starting under Kate?
I feel like that's probably a safe assumption.
Okay.
On the catacombs clue,
Yeah.
Yes.
how much do you guys want me to help you?
I mean,
we
if it,
hot or cold right now?
I was
We've
gonna
got 20
say,
minutes, so judge that way.
well, I was just gonna say, like, usually when there's a map and we're talking about looking for silver, to me that alludes to a treasure. So for me, it's unlikely to have a map without being a treasure map. So is this a treasure map? That would be my question, but I have no idea.
I mean,
'Cause
there's
it's a
even
murder
an X
mystery.
marks a spot on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got an X marks the spot. It's very good.
But the like circled areas make me think that those are the tunnels that Swamper was working on.
Or whoever he left in the dark.
Do we know where all these locations fall on this map that we've been to? And if possibly, like, because they're disappearances, right? So we have to assume they were taken down in the tunnels, which would be the catacombs.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Do we know who he left in the dark?
I'm assuming Charles, his son.
Yeah, I would go with that.
I'm assuming he abandoned his child. But then they didn't really, because they were still there, because the graves are there.
I think it's Charles.
I think it's James.
I
But
think
also-
it's William H. Smith.
So I also wrote down too, like it was a weird mention, but like there's Sharon, Willie, Henry, Winston. Like these are the people now. Sharon, Willie had mentioned that Sharon doesn't like when people come to visit because tourists should know that they're tourists, which could be a red herring, but a weird thing to mention. So like I'm assuming it's gonna be one of the people that we've met on our journey.
Henry?
Because they're alive currently. And they're keeping up the family business.
She say. She enjoys having tourists come to enjoy the history of Tombstone, but says they often forget exactly what they are, tourists. Why was Willie so quick to let us into Swamper's room? You know, why do they have that dangerous ladder just open to the public?
Why does he know it's so dangerous? Because he's shaking it when you go down?
I was worried about that too.
That's what I think.
Earthquake test.
What's really lying under Kate's big nose? Is it the answer to this riddle?
What's really under Kate's breast gone west?
Kay's or Kate's?
Kate's.
Charlie.
Hey, she chose the restaurant.
See, it's weird because this is clearly a murder mystery. People are disappearing, but there's also these weird bank transfers and the bars of silver or gold play into this. So I feel like it's money driven, right? It's got to be these are money driven
Definitely financially
disappearances.
driven, right? Yeah.
Financially driven, yeah.
We're finding the bank statements.
Yeah, the electronic wire transfer says to CSB, which would be Capital Security Bank of the Cook Islands.
All right, Charles is Thomas's son, and then
Who has an old ass sounding name? Who was born in the 1950s? Or could have been
Virgil.
old enough to make people die in the 1950s.
James is the grandson of Thomas.
Well,
It was available for comment in 1950, so he's potentially still alive.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's someone that like has to be alive because like who put the tombstones, the new ones with our names?
Man, Scooby would have got this.
Yeah.
Scooby.
Do you
I
think-
wonder, hear me
Velma
out.
would've got
I wonder
this.
what the tombstones were made of, because what if it's the print and press guy and he used his
Oh.
techniques from the 1800s on our
Ooh.
tombstones?
That's I feel like tombstones usually carved from stone, but
So is this story
could be
to
wrong.
say, since we read our own tombstones, is this story to say that we are going to get murdered and buried buy those tombstones that are already made for us? Is that what's going on here?
I think it's just to scare us off.
Those tombstones actually come to you courtesy of Phil McSpooky, who really wanted to write something.
I knew it.
And asked to write your headstones. So, thanks, Phil McSpooky. I'm giving you credit by name this time.
But does it have any bearing on the actual murder mystery? Is the question. Are we to die? Is the question. Are we dead? We dying here too?
Everybody made specific choices, so nobody died. So everybody's gonna be safe.
Well, except for Joan, because she answered the phone.
Yeah.
It's the exact
I really
opposite
did
of last
not
time,
have a
guys. Remember
choice.
when
It was
we all died?
scripted.
Was it the food? Could we have been poisoned by food?
He's great.
Yep.
So Swamper and Alma, they strike silver somehow. They use that money. They start Hayes Freight Company, or maybe it's their son who does it, and that's where all the money's coming from. So maybe it's like vengeance for the murder or something.
Something's really weird too when they were
Lawless.
talking about. He's talking about that lady saying that she's the light and he's the dark, and then
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounded pretty.
That too.
Pretty
what was that about?
Emo.
It was emo. Was not screamo, but emo. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was talking about him being in the tunnels and stuff like that, and then he was accused of stealing. So maybe he finally stole enough money to start a freight company.
I feel like there's a lot. I feel like there's more to it than that. Who is he that was left down there?
That's
Who gets to be Gollum in this story?
I think
guys?
we're assuming that's Thomas, because it says the light and the dark made something even darker.
Mhm.
And we know Swamper and we know Alma had a son.
I can't see. I'm looking at Kate. I don't know if we're getting close with that smile or if she's like, wow, you guys are way off the.
inscrutable.
Do you
Yeah.
want me to tell you?
No,
Okay.
we're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I mean, I don't, at least. Let me theorize a few more times and then maybe
You're
you'll
good.
crack.
You're good. Frank, where's your Tide pen?
It's Wallace.
I think it's here. I think it's right fucking here.
There it is.
Hey, I wonder if I use the Tide pen in that redacted part.
No.
Where is
Actually,
it?
if you use the redacted part now, it's going to tell you
Oh, hell yeah.
what you already know.
Hold on, guys.
Oh.
This is a job for Tide pen.
If that works, I mean, I'll be very impressed. I lost the second pages of the diary entries.
It's actually wrinkling the paper too much for me to.
I do not think he will come with us.
Nope, definitely did not work. Just want to show you guys that. I don't know
He
if
who
that's-
gave me the reason. He who helped me. He who gave me the strength. I don't think that's his son. I mean, maybe.
It's weird for a father to talk about his son and say he, like that. At least to
and
me.
then say, and he's going to stay down here in the caves and we're leaving.
Why leave his son? Yeah, that's a good point.
We're rich now, but he's going to stay down here and dig like a little rat.
Taking on the family business.
Well,
But he's wearing such a nice suit in the picture.
And yeah, with the picture, how come we're not seeing Swamper? It's just
Well,
Alma and Thomas.
someone still cares for Alma because her grave is tended to and Swamper's is not.
Mm.
Does
she
someone
has
always have
fresh
to be
flowers.
left? Somebody always have to be left in this fucking. Is there always someone who's dark? 'Cause that's what it seems like. First he was dark himself, and then he's like, oh well, this guy's more dark, so he's gonna stay behind.
Who was the one who told? Hold on. Who actually told us about Alma? Because it's interesting that there's no picture of Swamper in there, but their graves are next to each other, so they're associated with each other.
Yeah.
Typically, couples are.
It was in the bird cage when we found
Yeah.
the painting or picture.
One of the most famous performers. Oh, Granville. Was that just like her performance name? Did she remarry? Am I thinking about this too hard?
That was her real name. So if you go to the Birdcage Theater's website, this is actually a performer that you can read about, and that was her stage name, and her real name was Alma.
Okay, wait. So going back, something's going on at the theater, and I think it's someone sneaking around in this part.
Just footsteps, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many people have come to visit trying to catch a ghost, including some famous TV shows. The activity recently has picked up quite a bit, and we don't know why. Just footsteps, though, not sightings. Her footsteps all the time. Well, anyways, feel free to look around. I'm going to head back to my desk. You guys have fun time and just be careful. Lots of weird stuff has been happening around tourists recently. Henry is the only one to warn us about the tourists or like to mention ghosts at all. And I don't know if that's because it's the birdcage, but like leaning into the tourism of it. Yeah, I think it's someone who cares for Alma but does not care for Swamper. But who would that be?
There's not many characters in this story, so we got a pretty good chance, even if we have a wild guess, I would say. Colin, what do you think?
Stay here.
I'm not sure yet.
Maria, what do you think? Anything jump out at you?
It's Judge Wilkinson.
That's I knew it was him. So for me, I'm always of the opinion that you got to follow the money, right? So for me, part of it is the tourism stuff, but then somebody also has all these bars that they cashed out. So it's like that's probably the person.
Yeah.
But who would that be?
Does anyone also think it's odd that they're like anyone the sheriff didn't get bribed from, and someone's making money transfers that are very large?
Where does it say that, Joan? Or where do you?
It's on the Tombstone Courthouse.
Yeah, Tombstone Courthouse, last sentence. That's the script.
Wasn't bribed to keep out of the book. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so that means C. Hayes didn't bribe him to stay out of the book. He's in the book.
Or he bribed him to get a not guilty.
Well, he bribed him to get a not guilties.
Which means
Definitely
like maybe this is a family business of doing things. That's why it's popping up every once in a while.
Yeah, I still think it's James Hayes. Since he's the grandson, it makes sense that he would be alive.
Could be Willie.
I think it's Sharon. No, I'm kidding. I don't know why.
It's not a bad guess.
No. I think Willie might be the one. He just seems off too.
Well, and he's making the stink about Sharon, and it kind of feels like he's trying to put us off the scent.
Yeah, and he's also the one that's like, be careful going down there. You know, you might get hurt. Where like all the other people in this town for all the other places were kind of welcoming. Oh, you want to check out the newspaper? Let me know when you're done looking around. Oh, you want to check out the courthouse? Let me know when you want to be done looking around.
He's also the only one that we told that we had plans to be looking around for recent history stuff. We've just been touring other places.
Don't go to areas you don't belong.
Yeah.
He doesn't want us poking around.
Do we even know Sharon exists? Everyone go on that website. Is Sharon the manager?
Somebody call Big Nose Kate's right now.
Where's Sharon?
Is Sharon there?
But yeah, okay. He also did know that like we were in the catacombs, and that's when the phone rang. So like, if no one knew that we were there, then why would they call the phone?
He's a pretty good suspect at this point, I'd say, based on all of that.
Do we think Vermilion Enterprises means anything?
Vermilion is red.
There's a red X, maybe. We don't.
Mine was gray, but if Charlie got the colored copy, it's all good.
Yeah, I got
no,
it's
mine's
red
gray
on
too.
mine.
I just assume it was red.
Part of me wanted to like gaslight Frank and be like, no, it's red.
I have red lights in this room. It's like Mars here, and you know, if it's red, I might not been able to see it. Actually, if you would have said
Google
that, I might have
shows
fell for it.
Vermilion Enterprises a buyer of trusted gold and silver buyer
Oh,
in Florida.
and
So,
any
yes.
guesses who CSB is? Like Electronic Wire.
That's
Wire
That's the bank.
Central Bank Security or whatever that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says on
Okay.
the other clue that's like the name of the
Oh,
bank.
Capital Security Bank, Cook Islands. Okay. That makes sense.
I will say that James got the company from Charles, because in the sheriff's report it says Charles is the owner of the Hayes Freight Company, and now James is the owner of the Hayes Freight Company.
Yep.
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 I think, Kay, you got to give us like 4 minutes and then you got to tell us since we're
Okay.
coming up on a good time.
Okay, 4 minutes, and then we'll lock in our final answers, and then we'll go through.
What if I just want to go out on a limb and say it's Colin?
Yeah, it's me.
Colin's like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, I did
Sweet
it. I
guys.
did it in the library with the candlestick.
Well, I think it's Tim because he's been to Tombstone before. So
He told us where to go this whole time. He was the one leading the tour.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. Hey,
He's
yeah,
distracting
Oh
us.
my
catacombs
God.
too. Don't go there. So I knew that was the last place to go. Something bad was going to happen.
He's like, you don't want to go there. It's at least a 3-hour drive. Remember he said that? You remember?
yeah, and it's too hot.
Real
So then
suspicious.
You got
He's
murdered
like-
by the sun.
He's like, don't go over there. It's too hot, guys.
Charlie, how do you know that his middle initials H? Sorry, I'm just.
on the first page, when he meets us, he says, "My name is William H. Smith, but you can call me Willie." Then
Why
Frank
would-
says, "That's quite a name." Yeah, it's a family name,
Why would? Okay, that's too much name.
right? And Smith is a very common family name, but H, that's
And sometimes
Henry,
sometimes you would say like your
and there's an H.M. Wallace too.
yeah. I was trying to. I didn't
So-
see any other references to Wallace.
Yeah, there's H.M. Wallace was the guy that died from the crowbar,
Mm-hmm.
and
he deserved it.
and then Henry was the guy at the. Where's it? Let me find it.
I'm still locking in James.
I'm locking in Willie.
Willie.
Just to be different, I'm going to guess Henry. Just because it's all H's.
I mean, it was the first thing I wrote down was Willie, so we'll go with Willie.
Everybody got to
I don't know why. I got no motive, but he did it.
It's just the way he's acting. I think is
loves-
he's acting strange.
He loves his mom, who is Sharon, who is still caring for Alma's grave as the only female relative. And that's why there's such pretty flowers. And Swamper is a poopy butt. So that's why. That's
See, I
my
don't know
guess.
if I had $24 million if I would be sitting in Tombstone working.
I would
If
betray
I
my
did
mom
own a
for $24
business, maybe
million.
run a business there like James, but I don't know if I'd.
Something
run the hotel
happened.
or-
Why would he be working at a restaurant? There's questions I
I'd
don't know
betray my
answers
mom for
to.
It actually
$24.
says on the back of the menu, there's a story that says,
Oh, then
What?
nobody. We didn't read any of that.
Colin, what are you doing?
The Legend of the Swamper.
yeah, it says the Swamper's spirit may still be there protecting the silver that may still perhaps be buried
So
somewhere.
you're
in
saying
this
it's a ghost,
building.
Colin?
It could be the ghost.
Where do I have that page? What?
There's the very back of the menu.
What, like the ghost of Swamper?
Yeah,
If-
Legend of the Swamper.
Hmm.
Some people might not have that page.
Oh.
I don't have it.
I was like, I don't have that.
I see desserts.
I was like, it stops at calzones. What are you talking about?
Well then, let everybody down the prairie path, the primrose path.
It was just some backstory on Swamper, kind of like one of the clues talked about. So
Okay.
All right, Kay. It's Central, 10 p.m. Central, so it's time to spill the beans.
did Tim lock in a vote?
Tim, did
Yeah,
you
so
lock in?
James?
Okay. The answer is it was Willie.
Yeah.
Slick Willie.
Yep.
Knew it.
Explain.
Willie?
Why did he do it? What's his
Yeah.
motives?
Okay. So you start with Swamper and Alma. So Swamper wanted silver. And he was down in his chambers and he was digging around, finding silver, and he found a lot of it. But he also sees Alma, who is a performer at the Birdcage Theater, falls in love with her, and he's like, I really want to dig. I have to stay focused on this, but I really, really want to be with her. So He tries to bring her down into his rooms. She doesn't like it. And he's like, okay, I've got to get myself out of here, and I've got to get enough silver to get out of here. They have a child together. That's why he said, I got the best news today, because he finds out that Alma is pregnant. And then he raises their child, Thomas, and teaches him how to dig and help mine, and eventually gets enough money to leave the dark with Alma. And Thomas has a knack for this. Like, he can see that Thomas is just like him. He's stealing silver from other miners. He's really good at digging and finding silver. And he wants to stay in the tunnels. So he's like, okay, you can stay in the tunnels and keep doing this. I am going to go and live my life with your mom. So Swamper goes up and lives with Alma. And then Thomas has a child, Charles, because they start finding enough silver. They got to get it out of here because it's becoming suspicious. So they start the Hayes Freight Company, which is a line that you see running through Tombstone in the catacombs. And all of those little branches are different places that they've dug and circled where they struck silver. And then they dug a tunnel outside of town to where that X is, and that's where they come up to load the silver onto the train to ship it out of town to Vermilion Enterprises, which is a real place. And then Vermilion transfers it over to a bank in the Cook Islands so that they have offshore accounts because they're really smart. And James is the one that was originally arrested for murder, and that guy was poking around one of the train cars, and James didn't like it because he would have seen how much silver was in one of the personal family cars, so he kills him. Yep. And then that goes down to Willie H. Smith, and Willie is trying to get away from suspicion, so he keeps his middle name Hayes and adopts the last name Smith to throw people off the tracks, because people are getting a little suspicious of the Hayes family.
Great job, Charlie.
Good job, Charlie. You guessed that so early. I was like, dang.
It was literally like the first thing I wrote down. Like, there's a lot of Hayes in here.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh, okay.
I know, you're like, Willie Hayes Smith. I was like, oh, this might be kind of short.
He should stop telling people his full name.
He should.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to know
Who
the middle
introduces
initials. You
themselves
can
as
just
their full
say,
name?
my name's Willie. And then, like, nobody else told me their last name or anything.
It was really convenient for this story, but yeah, he should have stopped. He's gonna get caught.
What if they all had middle initials H? We could have been suspecting everybody. My name's Virgil H. Johnson.
Yep. And Willie is still putting flowers on his mom's or his great-great-grandma's grave to this day. Not Swamper, though. Just 'cause.
Oh, okay.
Just cause.
Even though he set you up for life, but okay, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he is anyone who is poking around in the catacombs or anywhere that could find stuff that leads to Willie's silver enterprise goes missing or dies.
Excellent.
And if you guys would have chosen, what is it? If anybody would have ordered Swamper's hot dog, you would have gotten really sick because Willie would have poisoned you.
I almost ordered it, and I was like, hot dogs in that heat doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
And you could order it with the chili, too.
I
was
chili.
Gonna order it with the sauerkraut, but I was like, nah, it's okay.
I get people at my restaurant where I work, people order chili dogs with sauerkraut. Discuss.
Actually,
I mean,
I
like,
was pretty good.
It sounds good, but I'm gonna burp like really disgusting
Yeah.
stuff up.
I mean, the chili's really savory. The kraut could cut it with its acid. It seems like it could be okay on
Yeah, like,
pepper.
I regularly eat chili dogs with mustard on them. So
Justin had an
For
Eero
sure.
today, and like his breath has just smelled like red onions the whole day, and that's what I imagined would be the same result.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Kay.
Yeah.
For
Good job,
Yeah,
guys.
this was great.
excellent.
Figured it out.
We figured
And you
this one out.
survived.
Well, most of us.
Snaps.
All right. Do we want to do final thoughts for this one? I think we should. And then we could do it. Or do you want to do announcements first? Let's do announcements first. Yes? No? Okay.
I can
you're
do
running this-
announcements real quick.
do those, and then we'll do final thoughts.
First announcement is next week. Colin is going to be telling us about Old Stinker. Thank you, Colin.
You're welcome.
And the other announcement is if you would like to win this hat, just go on over to our Instagram and like, comment, and follow us, and you could be entered for a chance to win this hat. That's all I have.
Awesome. Great, guys. Let's do final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I can go first. It was a lot of fun. Wish I would have guessed right. I was only one generation off, apparently. But yeah, good story. I liked it. A lot of work put into it. Thank you, Kay.
Yeah, Kay, it was
So
great. Yeah, I think maybe I'll skip going to Tombstone next time. Get threatened by some waiter at a restaurant. So
I really appreciate all the work that you put into this, Kay. It was really, really fun to do. And I know it takes you a lot of effort, so I really appreciate it. Also, just, out there, if you're hiding from something, maybe don't give your full name when just greeting people. First names are good. That's all you need to do.
Maria, what you got?
So is he a real person, the main killer?
Willie? They're all
Yes.
real. Yep.
Okay. Is he still alive today?
He could be.
Or well,
I think I hear him.
Sorry.
hope he doesn't find us. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. And I don't know. It was kind of hard, finding who it was, but at the same time, all the haze, like Charlie said, they just kept popping up in every page. So.
Yeah, I agree. It was a ton of fun, and it sounds like it was a ton of work too, Kay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I wish I'd guessed right too, but here we are.
My final thought is thank you guys all for playing. It does take a little bit of time to put them together, but it makes me really happy to get to come together and play these with you guys. And for our listeners, put down in the comments who you thought it was, and were you right? Really curious.
I'll close it up with my final thought. I would like to say that I do appreciate all the work you put in. However, my favorite part was the text from the Tombstones. That, for me, made this show for me. So thank you to Phil McSpooky on that one. But it was awesome. I can't wait to do another one of these whenever that we do. Hopefully we could do another one pretty soon. I don't know how soon that would be, because timeline-wise, we got somebody that's taking some PTO soon, and we'll see how it works out. Oh. That wasn't Maria that was taking PTO, by the way. That's just
She was taking
coincidence.
PTO
Very
Right
abrupt
now.
PTO.
She's taking PTO right now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling a friend. We will see you next week when Colin will be talking about Old Stinker. Until then, please let us know down in the comments how much silver it would take for you to betray your mom. And we'll see you all next week. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.